Hello everybody and welcome to a quick dreadlock video. I don't often do this, so I thought it would be a good chance whilst I am doing it to run you through how I do it. As you might know, if you've watched my videos quite a lot, I advise against blow drying your dreadlocks with a lot of heat. I just feel that the heat isn't good for them and things like that. A lot of people disagree, that's just how I feel about it. But obviously, as these have been getting longer and longer, and now as we're getting into the winter months of the year, it takes so long to dry now that it is dark outside, as you can see from the window, pitch black. So it's getting into the evening now, and they are still pretty wet. Not soaking, just a bit more than damp, if you know what I mean. And I don't want to have to sleep with them like this because that would be even worse than blow drying. So what I do is during the winter months, every now and again, if I've got somewhere I need to go or something I need to do, then I will go against my own views and I will blow dry them. Having said that, I do still wait for them to dry as much as possible. I mean, I washed my hair this morning, it's now about half five o'clock, and I've let them dry all day. I've had them out and swinging about, I've been shaking them and all that lot to try and get them dry, and I've had them wrapped up in a towel for about an hour and a half this morning as well. So I've let them dry as much as I can, and I've got to go somewhere, so I thought I'd do the rest by drying them. Give them a little bit of a blow dry already, but I just thought I would go through with you how I do it to try and keep the impact as low as possible. Right, first off, I let it dry for as long as possible because to start with, the scalp is the first bit that dries. Usually the water down here is where it stays wettest for longest, and if I run my fingers through it and squeeze it and stuff, even though I've just been blow drying it, it is still got damp sections in it. So it dries first from the scalp downwards. So what I do is I let this bit dry naturally, completely. There's no wet in there at all at the moment. The reason for that is because this is all my new hair. I don't want to damage this hair here, because if this hair is damaged as it grows out, my ends of my dreadlocks or the middles or wherever that hair goes to will end up being weak and damaged. So I let that bit dry naturally, and then when it's just a bit damp down the ends here, maybe halfway up I think is probably where it stops, that's when I start blow drying. And what I do as well is whilst I'm blow drying it, I try and keep it moving a lot. I usually bunch it over the top of my head like this, and then I sort of like sit the mass in my lap. So I sort of like have my, if you can see, have my legs up sort of like that on a seat, and I'll bunch it up over like that so they're sort of spread out. Tell you what, I'll actually show you. So if we tilt this down a bit so you can see my lap, what I will do is I'll usually have my legs like this, and then this hair will be like displayed on my lap like this, and I'll blow dry it from here so that it's blowing all the air in there, and I'll just keep shaking it about, blow drying it, moving it about, blow drying it, and I'll wave the hairdryer around as well, just to stop it from getting too hot in one section at a time. Another thing I usually do as well is, because this chair I'm on has quite a low back on it, I will sometimes place the hairdryer like on this shelf here so that the air is just coming this way, and I'll just literally lay my hair over the back of it and just lie there like that. And obviously, because there's a distance in between, it's not getting too hot, but the air itself is drying my hair. Usually I'll do that if I'm, you know, maybe drawing or something, or I've got something to do on the computer. I'll sit there on the computer whilst my hair just dries, hanging over the back. So that's basically how I do it. I'll quickly do a bit so you can see. And yeah, let me know your views on drying hair with a hairdryer. I mean, I'm just using a regular normal old hairdryer. It's nothing too powerful, nothing too hot, nothing special really, it's just a hairdryer. So let me know your views, let me know if you like it or don't like it, and let me know if you've got any tips or anything that you think I might be doing wrong, because obviously I've never really looked into it because I don't necessarily agree with it doing it all the time. but it's each to their own, so whatever you feel more comfortable with is better for you. So yeah, I'll do a little bit now. I'll tilt this back down so you can see. Cool. And obviously if you've got, like me, if you've got some really thick dreads like that massive one I've got here, and I've got this huge sort of chunk of them at the back. If you've got thick ones and skinny ones, I mean, they're obviously going to dry at different rates, so that's why it's difficult for me as well, because I don't want to end up over drying the skinny ones, but as well as that, I don't really want to keep these big fat ones so wet, because obviously this one, because it is so fat, it is still wet back up here, but there's not too much I can really do with it apart from just keep shaking it out. Oh yeah, another thing, the shaking, the reason I do that is because obviously a lot of the water is inside the dreadlocks. As you're drying, it dries the outside, it doesn't dry inside, so what I do is I shake them and I twist them and I squeeze them, and that basically encourages the water to come out, so that once the outside's dry, I shake it about, the water comes to the edge again, and then I dry it again, so you're trying to basically evaporate as much of that water as you possibly can. And that, for me, is the best technique I've found so far. But anyway, let's get on with it. I've already been doing it for about 20 minutes or so I won't be doing it for too much longer. Here we go. And that's it. That was another 5-6 minutes. And my hair is sufficiently dry now that I feel comfortable to leave it to dry the rest of its course. Yeah. Well, I also don't like the way they feel after they've been blow dried. They just feel a bit horrible and it makes you hot, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, cheers guys, hope this helped you in any way. Yeah, don't forget to comment if you've got any suggestions of what else I can do, other ways to blow dry it, better ways than my technique if you've got one, and let me know what you think about, if you try this technique, see what you think about it. So yeah guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon because it is almost my 6-year anniversary for my dreadlocks. So yeah, I'll have that update soon. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, see you later, bye.